Okay. Well, once again, it's lovely to be here just chilling with you all for no reason other than play. And yeah, however we want to be, I like to start these sessions, as you know, with seated or lying down. And so that's totally open, however you feel. All right. So if you are comfortable seated, we can just find the position of the body relatively still. And you might want to close your eyes or you might just want to leave them open. And whatever's happening is just what it is without context. So then, as someone just said, without next. And without the need for not next either, of course. There's already no next. So this is the playful timelessness in which we appear to be situated in. And maybe that appears as a breath through the mouth. And maybe it appears as the shoulders relaxing, the arms and the legs feeling a little bit more relaxed as well. Hmm. And if it feels available to you, then that stillness is just allowed to open up, really, to open up to itself. Just the openness of sitting here without agenda. And at any point you want to move or just follow your intuitive sense of the body, it's totally welcome. So if at any point sitting still just doesn't seem like what's wanted, then the body wants to move. It's that simple. And that goes for every session, as I think we all know here. Every session, everything is invitational, nothing is instructional. There are suggestions to allow for the body to, find some amount of routine, some amount of structure, but for the most part, it's very open, very fluid. And every body just flows the way they want to. Even as I say these words right now, it's just an open space where we can find ourselves listening as closely or as loosely to this as we like. That's delicious. A delicious breath or two, or even three, might find their way into the abdomen. You could imagine breathing from here as well as here into the belly. Again, it's not that you have to, but it might just be enjoyed. You might like to feel a breath a bit more abdominal and diaphragmatic. Hmm. Every session is uniquely tailored spontaneously to the people that show up to them. And so know that this is just a playful dance of bodies in however the way they want to express. Hmm. Ah, okay. So if it feels comfortable and available to you, you might like to rest one or both hands on the torso. Depending on what's going on for you today, you might not want to do that. You might want to place your hands on your knees or your lap or somewhere else. If you feel like you would like to try out more abdominal breathing, then I do recommend placing one hand on the tummy at least. What that's going to do is it's going to give the body a tactile and proprioceptive signal that it's feeling itself here in the belly. And you might be surprised that if you do that, that it will be more accessible to breathe a little bit more deeply without any force or pressure, of course. But when the hand touches the body feels itself more apparent. And that can just gently and softly encourage a slightly more abdominal breath or two or more. And you might also enjoy that exhalation as the navel draws gently back towards the spine as well. And for those of us who are heart oriented, it can be very soothing to place the hand on the heart or the chest region. So I like to do both, but you could just try something else out. Just getting that kinesthetic sensation opening wide. However the breath wants to express. You might notice what you're carrying, so to speak, bodily, emotionally, mentally, energetically, and how all four of those apparent things are not really separate realities at all. What we seem to carry in the bodies can be of an emotional nature. And we can find ourselves releasing stress and tension in the neck and the shoulders, for example. Maybe in the chest and the hips or the pelvis as well. Hmm. So just carry on with that for a few more breaths. Take your time wherever you are, however you're feeling, whatever you're carrying today, in this momentless moment. Kinesthetic sensations again, invited and open to just feel themselves as they are. Just like that vibrant sensation of body meeting itself without an owner, without an observer. It's just the vibrant, immediate quality of hand on chest or belly or elsewhere. Breath is free to express itself, audibly or quietly, deeply or shallow, slow and rhythmic perhaps, open to itself, no right nor wrong. And then the body might like to explore just feeling that touch even more deeply. So I'm going to invite an open space for a short while without much navigation whatsoever. But you're welcome to either move or massage or just bask in stillness. And you can breathe in any which way you like. You can hum, you can laugh, you can sigh or blow. And you can do brush strokes up and down the legs or the arms or the head. Just an open space. Before I give specific invitations, I just like to offer these open spaces from time to time where bodies can just really move the way they want to, or breathe the way they want to, or sit or lie the way they want to. Hmm. It's like being a child, playing without intention, without direction, without next, without now. Just play, open. You might even find the arms just want to float around, or you might just play around with movements or stretches. Mm. If ever you feel like, I don't know what to do here, you can just copy me if you want to. Just find any way the body wants to move, stretch, or breathe. Ah, yeah. That's it. You can have extensions into the limbs or forward fold, twist, bend. Mm. Okay. Mm. So just carry on with wherever you are, however you're doing, whatever you're carrying, or appearing to carry, or not carrying. And if you find yourself coming back to stillness, and only if you find yourself coming back to a pause and waiting for some kind of invitation, then you can follow me. But if you are just carrying on with your own flow, please, 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 just carry on with that. Find that natural rhythm, whatever's available to you. However you want to move, it's totally open. So you don't need any permission for that. But if you find yourself coming back to stillness and just wondering, what do I do now? Well, you don't have to worry about that. But I'm just going to have a little play with the neck basically, and I'm going to do yeses and nos. So I'm just going to gently move my head from one side to the other. Very simple. And this is a no. A slow-mo no. And we just look from one side to the other. And you might hang it on one side. You might just stay there looking over one shoulder with the eyes open or closed, of course. And we might want to gently go the other way. Somatic. This is a somatic exercise. It's done very, very slowly. Very nice and easy. You can hold it for several breaths on one side, or you can just keep it as one seamless flow. Spine is long. Back relaxed. Chest relaxed. Neck relaxed. Ease invited into all regions of the neck and the throat, and wherever else you might be playing. If you like, we can turn that into a yes. We come back to the center. You could just imagine if you want to draw vertical lines with the nose. Gently looking up and down. Gently drawing a lovely long vertical line. Just feeling that soothing going on in all of those muscles and the cervical vertebrae. So simple and yet so effective at soothing and releasing. Okay, all right. Maybe we could do a similar thing with the shoulders. So I'm going to invite a couple of shoulder somatic exercises. And you can follow each and every one or just one in particular. The first one I'd like to introduce is to imagine that there's like a puppet string only on one shoulder. So we're going to do one at a time. That's the invitation at least. And you could just imagine that someone or something is pulling that puppet string up towards the ceiling. And so the shoulder's going to like really gently, very slowly start to move up, punching slightly towards the ear. And then in the exact same gentle pace, it's just going to very slowly come back down. See how slow you can go. You might open yourself up to tissues that you didn't perhaps know were there. And you'll feel tension that wasn't perhaps previously felt. And you might also do the opposite. You might imagine that something is pulling, gently, gently pulling, not pulling forcefully, but gently bringing the shoulder actually down towards the ear. And then slowly releasing back. And you could do that several times on one side. Gently, gently, slowly moving the shoulder up. Gently, gently bringing it back down. It's actually quite hard, isn't it? It's actually quite hard to do this. And you might find that the shoulder actually jolts a little bit because it might not be used to moving this slow, which is totally normal. That's it. Okay, we can do the other side. Just imagine gentle, gentle puppet string, gently bringing the shoulder up towards the ceiling. Slowly and as gentle as possible, releasing down. Can't tell you how soothing this is for the system. Gently down. Imagine gently bringing the shoulder down towards the earth. And back up again. Your pace, your breath. Oh, wow. Okay. So if that feels quite challenging, then you can just have a bit of a wiggle into the shoulders and the chest. Oh, feel into that. Okay. And then maybe we can do little circles with the shoulders. Again, we might have a tendency to do this quite quickly. If it's if you're up for it, you could try and slow it down, right down. Ah, really nice, nice. Mm, mm, mm. And another thing you might want to do is move them like this. So you could bring one shoulder girdle forwards, the other one comes back. And as one goes back, the other one comes forward. Really allowed to play however it looks. It's not about looking right, it's just about what feels nice. I haven't done this for a while, so my body is actually jerking a little bit. It's quite challenging. Mm. And you might change direction. Oh, wow. Okay. Maybe we can move the body like a river after that. So moving the body like a river is a really nice, gentle, slow swaying motion from side to side. Hmm. Nice. That's it. Just got that lovely fluid swaying motion in the torso. Mm. Mm. Opening into the side body. Really getting a lovely stimulation and gentle release into the neck, the shoulders, the rib cage, the obliques, and the spinal cord itself, of course. Maybe even feeling it into the pelvis, the pelvic region where sacrum and the tailbone all connect up there. This movement can be as big or as small as you like. It can be as slow or as fast as you like. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's it. And maybe you want to rest on one side. And if you do, you can extend it into a lateral stretch. Like so. We rest one hand on the floor and one arm comes up, if you want to. Just notice if the shoulder really wants to tense up towards the ear. We can see if we can relax that. And maybe we switch sides. Mm. Mm. Ah, ah. That's it. And if we wish, we can explore a twist. So if you're exploring a spinal twist here, there's many versions you can do. The usual one is just rest, very simple, resting one hand on the opposite knee and the other hand goes behind the hip of that same knee, and we look over the shoulder of that same hip and knee. So it's all happening on one side. Crossing the midline, of course, with one hand, but everything is happening on one side. And we may find ourselves switching sides. Nice and easy. The transition is as lovely as the actual movement itself, the twist or the whatever posture it is. And the breath, of course, is just really nicely engaging here with the rest of the movement and the posture. If you want to do this a couple of times, you can. There's different variations as well, of course. So another variation, if you want to, is to come into something like this, but you don't have to, but it's just another option where you take one leg back and the foot comes underneath that hip and this leg comes over. So something a little bit more complex, but can be nice to play with. And you hook one arm around the opposite. So if you are doing this version, it's the left arm tucking around the right leg. And the other arm can either rest on the floor or it can rest around the back like that. Hmm, okay. So just in the same way we wave the body side to side, you might like to wave the body forwards and backwards. So as some of you might have noticed, I like to do the three planes of movement in almost every session. It just seems like it's a really nice thing to do for the spine and the central nervous system. And so this is the plane of movement where we can play around with a little bit forwards and backwards. Now, the wave is nice, but obviously there's different options. You can do spinal cord breathing instead, which is where you round and arch the back. Something like that, which is kind of like a cat and cow from a seated position. It's like a rounding and a rounding. Or a wave, which is a little bit more watery. Or you can do rocking and rolling. Or you can do a forward fold. Or you can do everything. You can do all of that. I really like the wave. I think it's my favorite option. According to Chinese medicine, my water element is stronger than any other. The others would be metal, wood, fire, and earth. And so that would explain why I like this one a lot. This is very watery. Ah. It's just so nice to really like feel the flexion and extension on the front and the back side of the body. Mm, that's lovely. Well done, everyone. Beautiful. Okay. And you might like to find yourself going into a forward fold. So there's loads of different options here for a forward fold. You can do forward fold cross-legged. You can do child's pose, which is my favorite. You can do the full legs out long, hinge from the hips. Or you can lie on the back and bring the knees into the chest. So whatever you want to do. I haven't done Paschimottanasana today, so I'm going to do that one. However you want to do it, just make sure the back is safe. Wherever you are. Relax the shoulders. Shoulders relax. Breathe. You can bend the knees as generously as you need to here if you're doing a seated forward fold with the legs out long. You don't have to push anything. Okay. Okay. If you did a seated forward fold, you might like to do some rocking and rolling. Maybe we can come on to our back. If you want, you can have a little beating of the legs, just like play. Ah, you might like to just like have it move around with just the legs and the hips. Bless you. Ah, okay. All right, I'm going to do some rocking and rolling because it's really fun and it's nice. Really nice for the spine. If you've got enough room for it, I highly recommend it. I mean, why do kids get to do this and adults don't? I don't know what's going on here. This should be available to everybody, I think, because it's great fun. There we go. Yep, really nice for the back, for the spine. Getting a massage for the back. A little bit of a roly-poly almost. I used to do roly-polies all the time when I was a kid. Apparently, my dad counted me once, I'm not joking. 500. 500 in the living room, I'm not kidding. That was his record, my record, sorry. He counted. I used to love, I was obsessed with roly-polies as a kid. 500, can you believe it? I just kept going, I wouldn't stop. Well, that's literally what I said to him. I said, I can't stop.
No one to stop.
Exactly. It was just happening. A bit like this.
500 is seriously obsessed.
I know, right?
I feel like that could be happening here.
I know.
Who's
What?
up for 500?
Yeah, everyone will be turning up in the non-duality session like, what's going on here? We'll still be going. All right. So you might eventually like to come down to the back and just bring those lovely knees into the chest. Let's bring this closer so you can hear me. So yeah, this is lovely. We do this a lot just because of how soothing it is, but also because of how nice it is and simple. And there's loads of options here. There's loads of options. You can keep the knees together and just do a side to side thing. You can rock forwards and back. You can do circles. You can, of course, extend out into happy baby, which is where we take the feet with the hands, usually the outer edges of the feet. But you can also do first two fingers and thumbs into the big toesies. You can also do windshield wipers, which is where we bring the soles of the feet to the earth and go side to side, as the name suggests. Okay, wherever you are, just enjoying that. That's lovely. Goo goo gaga, yes. I didn't say it, it was in the small print. But if you do happy baby, you have to go goo goo gaga. If you're choosing that option, it's a requirement, I'm afraid. All right. Ah, really enjoying some windshield wipers right now. It's very nice. You can leave the knees on one side if you want to, or you can just carry that on as one lovely seamless motion. Yes. And one more option I'm going to invite here before we enjoy a little bit of shavasana and relaxation is there's two options actually, but and they're very similar to each other. So it's either a figure four with the legs. Again, this is optional, of course. You can either rest the ankle on the opposite thigh, like so, and then you take one arm between the legs and the other one over this side, and you just like poke over the knee and just gently bring that knee gently towards the face, and you can lift the head off the ground towards that knee. So that's one option. Or if you prefer, you can actually cross the legs fully over one another and then interlace the fingers over that knee and bring them closer. It's a very similar thing, but they're slightly different. If you're doing this one where the legs are fully crossed, it's probably more comfortable if the head rests down. And it's just a nice, gentle, yummy stretch on the glutes. We might switch that up. You can do both as well, of course. Both versions. Don't have to get it exactly right. It's just about what feels right. Okay. Just getting a nice cross of the legs and a little bit of stimulation into the glutes and the hips. Laying the head back down. And wherever you are, might find ourselves journeying into that lovely final posture, which of course is open to you and however you feel most comfortable for it. You can have the knees like this where they touch and the feet are wider. You could go into a bound angle pose where the feet are together and the knees apart. You could go both legs out long in the traditional thing. You can even lie on your tummy or your side if you want, or child's pose. Okay, so just feel into that posture. Supported the whole she's got the luxury treatment going on. Okay. So just for a short while, just going to enjoy doing nothing really. Nothing at all. No requirement. Nothing to prove or improve. Nowhere to go and nowhere to stay. It's pure openness of whatever appears to be. Effortless. Effortlessness of simply being. It's already the case. And all of the thoughts and the sensations, the vibrations, the emotions, all of it. It's just the playful dance of this vibrant whole. The playful dance of this vibrant whole without an edge and without a next. And when everything is so effortlessly and equally this vibrant whole, nothing is a problem. There can just be ease. There can just be ease. Hmm. And whenever you're ready, and it really is no rush, but whenever the body is ready, it can find its way, slowly, slowly emerging. But you can stay here for up to 5 minutes if you want, because the Zoom is open. It's a short relaxation today, but If you're really, really enjoying this and comfy, don't feel as though you have to move at all. Just basking, however it is. Basking in stillness, basking in movement, basking in sound or silence, basking all around. Thank you so much for joining the YoQini session today. Much love. Namaste.